It began with a teacup, small, plain, ceramic, the type offered in quiet meetings meant to show respect without words. But this one almost delivered death. President Ibrahim Traoré was meeting privately at a military post outside Ouagadougou. Nothing major, just a small session with top officers and advisors to plan a future operation in the east. Easy atmosphere, nothing odd. They sat in a loose circle beneath a mango tree. Warm, spiced tea passed hand to hand by a soldier in basic fatigues. Traoré accepted his cup like always, with a nod and a smile. But this time, he hesitated. He didn't sip, not right away. His eyes flicked to the server, a new face, young, uneasy, holding the cup gently with both hands like it might shatter. Across from him, Colonel Yaya Konate, a seasoned officer with a sharp brain and colder stare, raised his own cup quickly, maybe too fast. "Please drink, sir," he said. "It's fresh." Traoré didn't move. He smiled and slowly placed his cup down on the small table nearby. The mood shifted, barely noticeable, but Captain Zongo, seated near the back like usual, caught the signal. Traoré had trained among wolves. He knew the scent of betrayal. 2 hours earlier, at the presidential palace, a note had landed on his desk during a separate meeting. No name, no clue, just a warning. Watch your tea today. They will test your trust. He took it seriously, followed through with the day's agenda, showed up at the base, sat with men he'd known for years, and waited. Now, the untouched cup sat between them. Something was wrong. Very wrong. Traoré looked straight at Konate. "You ever wonder what can hide inside something as small as a cup?" he asked. Konate gave a clipped smile. "That's the charm of tea, sir." "Or the risk," Traoré answered. He stood, slow and calm. The tone of the meeting shifted hard. President Ibrahim Traoré stood tall, hands behind his back, eyes locked on Konate. The table froze. Even the birds nearby stopped. The quiet grew thick. He didn't yell. He didn't invoke rank. Just asked one sharp question. "Colonel, do you trust the hands that poured this tea?" Konate blinked, lips pressed. "Of course, Mr. President." "Good," Traoré said. He gestured to a nearby aide. "Then drink mine." The aide reached for the untouched cup, confused. Konate's eyes went wide. "Wait, let's not mix cups. Hygiene." "Hygiene?" Traoré cut in. "Or poison?" Silence. The trees rustled faintly. Konate stumbled. "Oh, Mr. President, I swear." But Traoré was done. He reached for his radio and spoke 2 words. "Bring him." 2 soldiers stepped forward, dragging in the tea server. Same nervous young man. Now, in restraints, panic on his face. A bodyguard set a pouch on the table. Inside, a vial. Hidden earlier in the soldier's sock, clear plastic, label, VXT42. A slow neurotoxin, lethal within minutes. No taste, no smell. Just death, in a teacup intended for the lion of Burkina Faso. Traoré addressed the room. "I've led men into real war," he said. "I've buried brothers in combat. But betrayal from within? That's worse than any enemy." He turned to Konate. "You called this meeting. You organized the tea. You told me to drink first." Konate stood pale. "This is insane." But Zongo was already moving. In seconds, Konate was surrounded. Traoré stepped close. "You thought I'd drink without thinking, Colonel? That I survived this long by trusting every cup?" Konate said nothing. Traoré leaned in. "Men like you don't want power to serve. You want it to sell." Then he gave the order. "Take him in." No scene, no noise, just gone. As Konate was led away, the rest of the circle sat frozen. The poison failed. But the message landed. The lion had been challenged and didn't flinch. Back at the palace, Konate was placed in an underground cell. Silent, soundproof, meant to hold secrets. He denied everything, claimed ignorance, framed, he insisted. But Traoré wasn't looking for words. He wanted proof. Zongo walked in with a black notebook, pulled from the tea server's bag. Inside, coded notes, payments, dates, aliases. One name came up repeatedly. El Shakal, the jackal. Traoré watched behind one-way glass. "Have we seen that name before?" he asked an aide. The man nodded. "Yes, sir. It showed up in an intercepted call 3 months ago, linked to foreign operations." Traoré's face tightened. This goes beyond Konate. He wasn't working alone. The cup came from further up. That evening, Traoré called a closed meeting. Zongo. 2 counterintel agents, 1 cyber specialist from a prior coup investigation. In a secured room, Zongo dropped the notebook on the table. Shakal is the handler. The soldier was a pawn, Konate the delivery man. Traoré nodded. "So, we need the source." The tech expert moved fast. Phone logs, satellite hits, scraped data. Most trails were clean, but one burner phone pinged a chilling message. For the cup. Tomorrow, he sees nothing. Sent from just 2 kilometers from the French consulate in Ouagadougou. Zongo looked up. "He's nearby." Traoré crossed his arms. "Then he's not a ghost. He's a man, and we hunt men." They traced the signal to a high-end apartment in Ouaga, 2000, a quiet district filled with diplomats and foreign workers. No hallway cameras. Too convenient. "This guy," Zongo said, "he's protected." "Knows how to hide." Traoré leaned forward. "Then we don't search. We flush him out." He approved a covert Operation Glass Eye. No uniforms, no lights, no noise. Just watchers disguised as cleaners, vendors, handymen. 1 soldier got inside, planting cameras in vents and corners. On the 3rd day, they spotted him. Tall, pale, angular face, always wearing shades and a hat. No embassy match. But he had keys to 3B, the apartment from the ping. He moved carefully, changed vehicles, staggered exits, but he slipped. He ordered food. Traoré smiled. "Let's deliver it ourselves." That night, Zongo posed as the delivery man. Food in one hand, tiny bug in the other. The man opened the door. Cold eyes, paid cash, shut the door. But it was enough. His voice, footsteps, habits captured. Back at HQ, the voice matched. Alexandre Morel, French intelligence, retired officially, but known in secret files as La Chacal, the one who gave the kill order over tea. "Let me know if you want the rest, a shortened version or edits." You said, "Give me the remaining 1." ChatGPT said, "Here's the remaining part of your script, from word 1001 to the end." Arresting him wasn't simple. No badge. But a public move could trigger diplomatic fire. His escape routes were likely covered. Traoré paused. "Let's bait him." Zongo looked up. "Sir? We leak news of a private dinner, small, exclusive. He'll try again." Zongo nodded. "And when he does?" Traoré's gaze sharpened. "We finish it." They prepped quietly. Dinner at the presidential villa. No media, hand-picked guests, word spread just enough to catch the right ear. Surveillance stayed locked on 3B. No sign of Morel. But then his burner pinged again. A new message, another attempt coming. But this time Traoré was ready. In the palace kitchen, every staffer was intelligent. Every spoon and plate inspected, tiny mics planted in vases and salt shakers. At 7:30 p.m, dinner started. 4 guests, trusted, quiet, aware. Traoré sat at the head in traditional dress. Nothing flashy. Didn't want to scream target. Zongo watched from the control room. No breach, yet. Then it happened. A server entered with drinks. Not one of theirs. Zongo stiffened. Who is that? The camera zoomed. The man moved differently. Controlled face, but one hand trembled faintly. He set the tray and backed off. Traoré raised his glass, but didn't drink. He locked eyes with the server. Would you care to drink with your president? The man paused. Traoré stood. You've been hiding a long time, Alexandra, but you made one mistake. Chairs scraped, guards moved. The man reached for something, small, sharp. But Zongo had him in a flash, pinned to the floor. No gun? Traoré asked, walking over. Still using poison? Thought the same trick would work again? Morel, the jackal, snarled. You've made enemies you can't beat. Traoré crouched beside him. I'm not trying to beat them, he said. I'm outlasting them. He stood. No noise, no headlines. Put him on a plane. Deepest cell we've got. Across the city, all looked normal. But the second hit had failed. The mastermind, caught and silenced. Yet Traoré knew the war wasn't over. Next morning, alone in his office, he held that same teacup. Clean now. Still heavy. He thought of the young soldier who carried poison without knowing. Of Konate, once honourable, now awaiting justice. Of his people, millions who trusted him, unaware how often he walked near death. A knock. Zongo. Sir, the academy is ready. That afternoon, Traoré addressed cadets at Burkina Faso's military academy. Hundreds stood in rows. They'd heard whispers, knew something happened, but not the whole truth. He didn't carry notes, didn't need them. Some of you think the uniform gives you power, he began. It gives you responsibility. He raised the cup. This nearly killed me, not because of the tea, but because I trusted the wrong hands. Silence. You'll guard this country, but it's not just about weapons. It's about honour, knowing when to speak, when to say no, even if they offer money, even if pressure comes from abroad. He looked at them. I survived not because I'm clever, but because I never forgot this. A nation's strength is measured by the loyalty of its lowest guard. He turned to Zongo, lifted the cup toward him. This no longer means death. It stands for survival.